Welcome to Issued for Construction. I am your host, Jonathan Jacobs. Though I don't sound like myself, yes, this is still a part of my travels out to New Brunswick. I'm sitting across from a gentleman who recently started his own practice. His name is Nilton Forrest, and his practice is called OSDA, which stands for the Office of Sustainable Design and Architecture. Nilton, thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So Nilton and I spoke, a month ago?
Yes, about a month ago.
Right. He has started his practice. He's got an interesting life to tell you all about. And so Nilton, let's go into the thick of it. Let's talk about where you were born and where you were raised. What was family like? What were your interests? Go ahead, hit us all with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go way back memory lane. So do you want a short, long?
I don't want a short. No,
Okay.
Don't go short. Go long.
Okay, so my parents are Taiwanese.
Yep.
And I grew up majority time in Taipei.
Okay.
And then single family, so single parent.
Okay.
My mom's always working, when I was, because to raise us, I also got elder sister.
Before we go any further into Nilton's story, I want to take a moment to talk about something that sits at the center of every home he just described. The kind of home where a neighbor opens the door, pulls up a chair, and makes you feel like you belong. Every home worth remembering has a kitchen at its heart. It is where the smells pull you in before you even sit down, where you learn what comfort actually feels like, not by design, but by instinct. This is what Kaplan's Appliances has understood for decades. They are not just selling appliances. They are equipping the spaces where people actually live. Whether it is a family dinner that becomes a tradition, a Sunday morning that slows down the week, or a kitchen that makes a house feel like someone meant it, Kaplan's carries the brands that make it happen. Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Jenner, Fisher & Paykel, La Cornue, Folger Milano, premium European and North American manufacturers who build with the same intention that great architecture demands. If you want to learn more about what Kaplan's can bring to your projects or your home, email me directly. It's Jonathan, Jonathan, at issuedforconstruction.ca, and the connection will be made. Or head over to the liner notes if you want to do it yourself. Now, back to Nilton.
So she was always not home. She'd be walking majority time abroad. And because of that, I got a neighbor that is coming to Taiwan to do some research about history of Chinese history and Chinese art. They're both professors. So I kind of grew up a majority time during my childhood with them, and they are English.
Okay.
And that's why when people look at me as an Asian person, they are like, but where are you from? And that's the...
So the English neighbor that raised you is the reason that you have the accent?
Yeah, also the cultural background, because I would be like spending my after school time with them.
Yeah.
And then they got 2 kids, and I spending time with them, hang out with them, do my homework with them, even we got different schools to go to. That's all. Like, I would say the most English part for me is I was always carry a Marmite with me when I'm traveling, because I need that for breakfast. They are original from Carlisle, which is like very northern England.
Okay.
That's why there is a mix of like English and Scottish accent.
Okay.
So that people get really confused, and some people think I'm African.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I spent a lot time with them when I was a kid, and they come back every couple of years to do more research, because as probably a lot of people will know, Taiwan has ordered historical material from China. Like, we got the Palace Museum, take all the most valued stuff from China when they moved to Taiwan. So this scholars come to do the research, and I just spend a lot of time with them.
So interesting. So what were you learning about history, and at what age? How old were you?
I think I was spending my most elementary school time with them, and then some junior high school time, and then after that they come back only every couple of years, and I just like go spending a short period, like a couple of weeks with them, because they kind of like semi-retired back when I was junior high, and then their kids is about my age, so we know each other well. We spend a lot of time together, and after that, when I went to college, they just different cities, so I haven't seen them since, but we do keep in touch and give us like maybe a Christmas update.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you ever travel to see them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So now they moved to probably like a couple of hours away from London because they works there. They used to work Cambridge University, and now they moved to a town called Ipswich. So a lot of time when people want to know where I'm from, I just tell them I'm from Carlisle. Because I don't want to explain it. I don't want to explain my accent. So I just like, I'm from Carlisle.
Now you can tell them to come listen to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do you want to know a real story? Listen to the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right?
It's exclusive content for you.
Exactly. You just bank it on your website.
Yeah.
Right?
Check out a real story.
Yeah.
Click this link. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's, I think throughout the childhood, even like when I grow much older, I always get a bit confused because I spend so much time with them. So I have a hard time to actually fit into my classmate at school because after school, I would say I'm an English person. I do all these things that I only realized that when I grow up, like that only English people would do.
Like what?
Well, like the humor, like sense of humor people do. I tend to do kind of like sarcastic a lot.
Yeah.
And some people do tell me, you're quite mean. And I was like, no, I'm just
Sarcastic.
yeah, I'm just like fucking with you. I'm not really like mean it. And people think it's too strong. Or like people will like do like what I eat when I was a kid. People are like, what the hell is like the things I talk about Marmite. Like, do you know what?
Marmalade?
No, Marmite is
No idea.
It's you can find in the supermarket in Canada. Okay. So it's a yeast extract that is when you brew beer, you got the bottom of that yeast, like the gluing thing. Yeah. They put carrot juice and some spice, and then making these spread and salt, and then it's really salty, and then you spray it on your toast with butter, and that's
what's it called? Marmite. Okay.
Yeah. It's this little jar, and I know only old English people will travel with it because they can't live without it. I feel like I'm kind of like at that stage now.
Yeast extract. Got it. Rich in B vitamins.
For me, it's delicious, but I think so. I think in Australia there's another thing called Vegemite. So it's another version, but disgusting, rubbish. But Marmite is really good. Most people hate it. They're still selling that in the supermarket here, and I was so happy to have that. So I recently went back to Asia, to Japan and Taiwan, and in my luggage there's a jar of that.
You bring it up with you.
I have to, because you can't find in like it's not widely available in Asia, and I'd rather just have my bottle of Marmite with me the whole time.
Fair enough.
And that's the things impacts me. Also, like how you make connection is a lot different in Taiwanese. So I grew up there and I make friends there, but I will always feel confused about
where's your place.
Yeah, so people will ask me, like, do you feel more English or more Taiwanese? I don't really know, but I know now I'm Canadian, so I'm just creating this is me. I'm not one of that, yeah.
Well, so tell me about your sister. Did your sister also get influenced by accent as well?
No, not at all. Because,
Not at all.
So
This is interesting.
So the things is, I basically, without this family, without this English family,
Yeah.
I will basically need to raise myself my whole childhood because my mom's always walking. She worked really hard. My sister, she's much older than me. I think she's 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So she's always have her own group of friends.
Yes.
And
Raising you was not her.
no, and then I think ever since she was 16, she got a boyfriend, and then she just never stayed home. My mom wouldn't know. She will come home. I mean, like, this is, I hope my mom don't listen to these podcasts because she's never home until my mom came back. She would like pretending
Even if your mom listened to this, you're talking about something that happened so long ago.
Yeah, she probably know. I think she probably know already.
My siblings and I did these kinds of reveals with my mom over the years.
Yeah.
And my dad, when he was around, like we would be like, "Oh, by the way, did you know that we would do this?"
That's true. She probably just
You're an adult. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Anyway, so she barely home because she's always has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or like overlap time.
Got it.
So I barely see her, and
She was not an influence in your life in the same way that she could have been if she was around.
Yeah, I know what she's doing. I know she's having a great life. I know she loves art and like graphic design, and that's later we can talk about that.
Yeah.
It influenced a lot my decision to be an architect.
Okay.
But even now we love each other. We see each other every time. Like we'll have a great time. But I wouldn't say we were spending a lot of time together.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's why like without this family, like that's why I just get confused when I was a kid because
What did your mom do?
she's accountant.
Okay.
But when I was much younger, because she need to raise us, so she also do admin work for managing a company in China. Okay. So she's accountant for the company, but she's also helping the company to manage all the staff in the factory in China. So that's why she's kind of always away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And so tell me about you as a youth. Like, what were your interests? What kind of things would you want to do extracurricular, whether it was in school as a part of extracurriculars or after school for yourself? Like, what did that look like?
So,
what were your interests in school?
So I think in school, I'm kind of just like a nerd. Like I do not really, so I'm a nerd, but I don't really like school a lot. So luckily back then we will only have, so we've got 5 days a week, but Wednesday is always half day. And so I can spend a lot of time alone. I don't really remember what I did, but I could probably remember just I have a bike and I just ride around. And my house is kind of center downtown, but if you cross like a street and then it will be much more suburban area. There's a mountain, there's a little creek. So I did that a lot. I think ever since I was a child, I was a quite independent person.
Yeah.
Because
you were forced to be.
Yeah. So if I have spending time with my neighbor, I would happily to have a meal, talk to them, do homework there. But if they are not there, I'm just spending a long time. And I think that's why I always feel like I'm more independent person than need someone to be with me the whole time.
Yeah.
And I do most of the thing by myself and learn the hard way, because even for learning how, like now I love to cook, but I was learning in a hard way that no one taught me how to do that.
Okay.
But I
look forward to having that conversation as we get there.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I also volunteer in library.
Okay.
So I just either riding the bike in the city or just go to the library and then read books there.
Right.
Hanging around with the friends there or just discover natural. Yeah.
Okay. And were you into sciences? Were you into math? Were you into arts, English literature? I don't even know why I said English literature. It could be any literature. Movies, music.
Yeah. So I think I'm very into science because I feel like it's fairly easy to me.
Yeah.
And that will be something we talk about with my college time. But like as a younger child, I feel that's really easy. I do really like music and movie, and because you got no parents to control you, so you just turn on the TV, and then there's HBO play 24/7 good movies. So I did watch a lot of movies. Sometimes I just leave it on.
Background.
Yeah, and then also like back then we have like NTV.
Yeah.
You just listen to music.
Yes.
Even sometimes don't really like it, but I just leave it on and I do my things, and I do really enjoy. I think one things I notice after I get older, I do like to learn everything. I don't really have a specific things I want. So a lot of kids will be like, oh, I like painting, so that's all I do when I have free time. But I found that everything I learned, it always intrigues me. So I want to learn a lot of things. So I would do painting, I would play music. I'm not really good at that. I will do some science work. I would try to baking, even I'm still not very good, but I love to try everything.
Well, I mean, if you like science, then baking should eventually come.
Exactly, yeah. That's also more like a science thing.
100%.
Yeah.
You can't just throw things together in baking. It doesn't work.
That's also a thing that I stopped doing baking because I kind of want to throw everything together. I don't want to be precise. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what did life look like when you wanted to go into university? Did you know what you wanted to study, or was it something that you discovered?
I would say that's a very good question because I have no idea what I want to do.
Yeah.
Under Asia's study system, it was kind of tough for me because I hate school. I want to learn things, but not the way they're laying out.
Right.
They will force you to study from 7:30 to 5 every day. Some people go to cram school, which is a school that you go to learn exactly the same thing again and again until you become the best of the best. I hate those because most students will study either from school to cram school until 10 almost every day.
Crazy.
I didn't have to do that because my mom's always out front. So I don't really go to cram school.
What's it called?
It's like currently stuff. Like, yeah.
Cram?
Yeah, cram school.
Cram school. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I went to pick it up.
Yeah. It's kind of like a extended education system.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
all Asian kids goes there, learning science, math, and try to get a good score and to attempt your exam. It's a bit like prepare for your SAT.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't really have to do that, but also I don't know what I want to do.
And you're not giving direction.
No.
Right?
No. So I just pick up, like, after the college exam, I just pick up. I wasn't. So the funny thing is, I didn't do really well because I failed on my English exam. And the reason of that is because I think it was the second or third question. I was like, I don't know which one to choose. I will wait until later and come back to resolve these. And then the card, I just kind of shift an answer. So from that point, every answer I have is one question away from the real.
No.
So I shifted, and I think I got 23% or something because I shifted.
Yeah, I follow.
I think the 23% is actually for my writing. It's like 23 out of 30 from my writing, and that's it.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that's fine. I don't really care. I don't need to. I still have a good enough score to go to the college, and I have to choose what I want to study. So I found that chemistry was really easy because just you memory things and you can get good score.
Right.
So I choose chemistry as a major.
Interesting.
So the first 2 years in my school, I studied chemistry. It was super boring, but also fairly easy. At the second year, they started to pick up the organic chemistry, and this professor, she changed my life because she made me realize I don't want to do these. even it's easy.
Yeah.
One day she was talking about like, as a chemist, your entertainment is you stand up, you pour yourself a glass of water, and then you drink it, and you can't go back and sit down, do your study and do lab work, and that's your life. And it was like shocking what she just talking about.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not what I want to do in my life.
I'm not the rat in the cage.
Yeah, so I was a bit freaking out, but also back then I left out that my sister's she's already a graphic designer at that time, and because of that I have in touch with a lot of like graphic design things. So I've always loved graphic design, and I always loved photography. So I do a lot of part-time job for people to make posters and like branding and photos when I was at college.
Where was college?
It's called Tunghai University in Taiwan.
In Taiwan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do want to do things with art, like design, but I don't want to just follow my sister's footsteps to do that. But also I think I have kind of like a nerdy brand that I want to do science. I want to do physics. I like to do those things.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can be the best scenario to combine these two things?
Right.
And then I was looking up like, architecture sounds interesting. I never thought about that. Back then, I don't even know what architect do. So I was like, okay, architecture sounds interesting. Maybe I can switch school to find if I like it or not. So I was just Googling to say, what's the best architecture school in Taiwan? And I found it's in my school. And I've never known we even have an architecture department. So I was like, okay, so can I change the major? And I found out, you just need to go through a exam. They will like test you and see if you qualify. If I can show you the sketch I did back then. I have no idea how to do any sketch. I don't know what's perspective. I don't know where shadow's supposed to go. Somehow they let me in. So I think there was 30 people try to switch their major. They picked 3, and me, majors chemistry, and then 2 other student is majors landscape architect, which is
So the chemist was one of the 10% that had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. So
perfect.
So
come on in.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, whoa, you sure about that? Because the other 2, they are doing so well at school. They are really, really like top at their original department, and then they got accepted. And I was surprised that I even got a chance to do that. And that's how I started to study architecture.
Do you feel like when you arrived at architecture school that you were starting to be able to find yourself in your own voice in a way that you hadn't before? Or not yet?
I think the first year I thought I found that, and I was really happy to switch major and then learning all these new things. And I try to put a lot of how my mind works towards my work at school. And I soon realized that most architecture school is not really engineered driven. It's more art, which is great. I think that's also important, but I do believe both education is very important, because most people now is architect. You work with architect, you definitely know, they don't like to talk to engineer. Engineer hates to talk to architect. Always a conflict, oh my God, their drawing just didn't show these things, and that we really focus on. But for me, it's I want to know how engineers think, and I want to work with them to achieve the piece, the design intent I want. But a school didn't tell you that.
Right.
Most of the time, they tell you how to make the most beautiful, timeless design, talking about space, void, shadow, lights, which is all very important, but they don't tell you the other things. So throughout...
They also don't tell you how to run a business.
Exactly. And then that's why I start to feel like this is a good direction for me in my life, but I wasn't really enjoying too much. And back then, because I have a science background, I always want to focus on sustainable, and the teacher doesn't really care. So we have a lot of greenwash that people will talk about sustainable. Even you have a couple courses like you can select that, and they will teach you some high level ideas. But when you come to implementation, people will just have these completely wrong direction. Like,
Well, the definition of sustainable can also be different between different people,
yeah, exactly. So,
right?
so
what-
back then was pretty hard.
How did they define sustainable back then?
I think that most of the time they will. I think still now the biomimic is something really big at school because everyone's. I think Rhino was started to introduce grasshopper. Everyone was using parametric design, and then like biomimic, like facade, building shape, and follow like Zaha's work, and just like, oh yeah, this is coming from these. I think the most ridiculous one I've done, which I hate myself, is I study about Amazon water lily, and then you need to really analyze these plants and they float in the water, and then how the structure works, and then implement into buildings. But I know back then, for me, like biomimic is not how building material being made. And if you want to do that, it will be fantastic using these plants knowledge, but that's also not how a material in life constructed.
Works.
So you can create all these amazing things, but in real life is not really sustainable because you want to, every single part you create for this building, it's the new mold that you need to create.
Right.
And a new production line, it's not sustainable. And people creating, there is a reason why our building wall is straight, not curved most of the time. And then we have certain material, we just keep using it. That's the way. That should be you under your creativity, but also follow those things. But parametric design is not really like it's cool. It's fancy. I love it. I mean, going to Grasshopper, throwing like different numbers, you got different like, cool stuff coming out. It doesn't really excite me.
Okay.
So I was having a hard time to like. I did it. I'm not happy with my work. So I start.
You're talking during school?
Yeah, during school, and then so I start to focus on. That was the 4th year, and the 5th year is about my thesis, and I start to focus on how actually making sustainable design in my own way. That was the biggest failure in my life. That I tried to follow what I believe the most important for architecture, like in sustainable.
What was the failure? What did you do?
I study how to use this offshore construction. When they retired, they can be bring back to shore, use the structure to rebuild on the retired oil refinery and become a public area that people can use. And that was very ambitious because I think it was probably like 300 acres of land, and I need to think about how the construction or lifetime for this offshore oil drilling platform, how can they bring it back to shore after they retire and then disassemble and then put it back together to different kind of structure. And also there's oil storage tank that can be cleaned out and become like music plays, and you can do all these things in this park because the soil is not contaminated, and because they have a really high standard to maintain that.
Right.
So people can use that as a park, but we got all these waste bring back from the ocean. What we're gonna do with that? So I was thinking a lot about that. The professor didn't see interest at all, and our school is, I mean, I'm not sure should I say that. Like, I think they think if you fail a fair amount of people, it keep your authority of the school reputation. So I failed my first year, and
This is first year of university.
No, so
First year.
my first year thesis, so I need to retake that.
Got it.
So I got everything. Like I only need those 6 credit to graduate, and they failed me.
This is the 5th year.
Yeah, that was the 5th year.
Got it.
It was a hard time for me because I thought I can't graduate because I already studied 2 years chemistry, and most Taiwanese study system you can only study 7 years total. So I thought I'm dumb. I can't graduate.
Crazy.
And a school dean was telling me that you could study master degree here, even because no one else will accept you, but you can study here and then you got master, but no bachelor degree. I was like, I don't want to be here much longer. So I contact school and they when you study 2 years chemistry and you switch to architecture, you agree to downgrade 1 level. So you actually gain 1 year. And that's I realized there is a way out. So I did a second thesis and I didn't focus on sustainable. I focused on culture. I focused on the things they think is sexy. Renovate these small towns, train station, become like multicultural, and there's certain levels of sustainable, but I don't really.
Yeah, you fed them what they wanted to
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I got an okay grade. I graduate. I feel super happy. Like I'm done with school. Even back then I really want to study a master, but no, I think that's good enough. And that's how I feel about school now. Yeah.
I mean, look, you don't feel alone. I felt the same way about school.
Yeah.
When I was, and I don't know that I've talked about this maybe once before in a recording, but I was a part of a program. It was the first year of the program, and we were able to acquire, this part I've spoken about a few times, but we were able to acquire a degree and diploma. So they combined 6 years of school into 4.
Yeah.
So you could imagine the workload was crazy, but I had a prof who was vicious.
Yeah.
And she would teach us that if it bleeds, it leads. Because I studied broadcast and print journalism in school and media studies. So this concept that you had to find the negative in a story to be the front of the print or the front of the broadcast.
Yeah.
So you're being taught to look at the world through a negative lens, or to find the war or the bloodshed in a scenario. Similar to you, I'm like, I'm not going to school for this. Like, I don't want to, I want to find joy.
Yeah.
I want to find happiness, sustainable elements, like things that will allow us to grow.
Yeah.
And find connection in humankind.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
To your lived environment. Like, talk about people.
Yeah.
So this podcast is kind of like my fuck you to my prof.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it brings people forward that are designing the world that we get to embrace.
Absolutely. I totally agree
And
with that.
humanize them, because the work is what matters.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. The education system needs to change, but that's a whole other thing. So let's talk about how you then go forward from school, what the evolution of your career looks like, and let's find a point to tie in, because you're living on your own at this point, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You're cooking.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of that too while we intertwine the two.
Yeah. I mean, like I would say after school, I was able to, I did an internship in Amsterdam.
Okay.
That,
How did you land a job in Amsterdam?
so back then I got a professor, he's Japanese.
Yeah.
So it's still a good friend with me. So I told him I always want to go to Europe to do internship.
Yeah.
I would do anything. Like, even though I don't have a lot of money, but I kind of want to see more things. And then he was like, oh, I know a guy, like my best friend is an architect in Amsterdam. They could probably arrange something for you. So I went to Amsterdam. I didn't also I didn't know it was a paid intern.
You went there under the pretense you wouldn't make money. So you were going to go live in a new country
Yeah.
with the idea that you're going to have to find a job
Yeah.
to make this work.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just like, okay, they accept me. That I really appreciate that. So when there, it's actually one of my best time. Yeah, I think it was the best work experience. So the company is called Claus and Kaan, and they no longer exist because they Mr. like Philip Claus and Keith Kaan, they separate to two companies because one in Amsterdam, one in Rotterdam. Now they are two company.
Okay.
But I was able to work in the Amsterdam office. It was, I forget how, it's a long time ago, but I lived there alone. I find a little apartment with a room that I share with my landlord. Like we same apartment, I got my room, and I just enjoying cooking, learning how to like living it by myself again.
Yeah, in a new country.
Yeah, new country. Love Amsterdam so much that if I can choose where I want to live now, I probably would choose to live there. It's literally the best place.
What about it made you feel so connected to it?
I think Amsterdam, because it's the city is so, the whole country, Netherlands, is so diverse. No one the first come to me and think I'm foreigner. And because there's so many different culture, people also don't question why you do that. And people are more embraced about different things. The food is very diverse. The supermarket.
What was one of your favorite or some of your favorite meals?
In Amsterdam?
Yeah, that you came across.
So there's a thing called, I'm not sure I'm pronounced properly or not, because it's called bitterball. It's yeah. I mean, sometimes I say that to Dutch people. They're like, "What are you talking about?" And I say, but bitterball is basically a beer snack. Like you go to the pub and you go say, "Can I have a plate of bitterball?" It come with 6. Those are made with. So you bought a piece of really good quality beef and you brine it with like all kind of vegetable, and then after that you mix the flour, spice, and it's like pork beef, and then you make a breaded bowl and you deep fry it and it becomes super soft and tender. Oh, also cream in there. So you got this super soft, tender beef bowl that is breaded, and then you eat it with mustard and beer. That's one of my favorite things in the world.
Okay.
And also there's like just the things you can get in Amsterdam. It's so diverse that you can get very traditional European, you can get North American food, you can get deep fried seafood that you can, I can barely know all the fishes in there, and you can get Asian food. There's all kind of, also I think the moment when I realized this is a good city is when I accidentally went to these Asian grocery shop. I tried to get one ingredient so I can cook for my friends. I didn't know that was a film production going on that day. They're shooting a film based on Asian people. So they thought I'm local. They let me in. I would try to buy things, and I would just tell the store owner, I want to buy these. And he said, oh, it's free. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're the film crew, right? They're actually shooting at that location that day. And I realized that people don't really see you as a foreigner traveler to go there. And I feel like this is really like a good place. I feel,
you're being embraced.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Also, everyone's speaking very good English there. So I don't really feel like if you ever travel to France, people don't like, they just like, even they speak in English, they were like, no English. But that's a good country. And I did apply the job after I graduate, but that was back then, I think, just visa problems.
Right. Well, tell me about the types of projects that you'd work on at the practice. So
back then, I think I was there for like a while, and the major project I was working on, it's called the Adams. So A''DM. It's the renovated the old hotel that so if you're in Amsterdam, when you get off on the train, you will see across the river, there is a building now is kind of like fancy hotel and like bar and restaurant place. That place is the project I was working. I was spending like a couple months doing different model, try to impress client that how it can be converted into this super cool place. Now it's the iconic building when you travel to Amsterdam. And I was always pointed that I made that model, the architecture model back then. I did a lot of the different school project.
Cool.
They're all very, I think maybe that's just European or Dutch people. They do really put money to create very nice building. Like the building party is always so important for them. And I did this project I still these days loving so much is this school extension. So they got very old historical building and they want to build a gallery attached to that.
Nilton just described something that every architect working with heritage knows intimately. The moment when you have to make a new element speak honestly alongside something old. Where the glass meets the brick, where the threshold between inside and outside becomes the detail that defines the whole building. That is exactly the kind of problem the Doors was built to solve. Marta and Martin run a family-owned European window and door company that has been working alongside architects, designers, and builders for 20 years. Their product range spans aluminum, steel, aluminum, wood-clad, fiberglass, and vinyl. They work with European system brands, including Rayners, Schuco, and Aluplast, and they carry passive house specification products for projects where performance is not optional. What sets them apart is not just the product, it is the depth of knowledge behind it. They have their own in-house aluminum cutting equipment, their own spider crane for complex installations, and a team that understands how a window and door lives inside a building long after the project is finished. If a project is calling for something that goes beyond off the shelf, check the liner notes to learn more about the Doors and what they can bring to your next specification. Or email me. It's Jonathan, JONATHAN, at issuedforconstruction.ca. Now, back to Nilton and that glass facade.
I didn't follow the same style, this is all brick. Instead of it doing all glass facade on the front. So you got all these brick historical window and then suddenly glass. But the same Dayton, same grid. And then the roof itself is this super thin metal that folded that you look from the front you look like a thin line, but it's actually a really thick canopy. And the technology itself is also using in the, I think it's Amsterdam downtown, they have a contemporary museum that it's because it's white but they don't want to get dirty, so it has this like special material that will just self-wash. So it's always keep that super clean white line. Even a couple of years later, I went back to Amsterdam. I was checking that building, still very neat. I don't think they need to spend a lot of money to maintain that. That was really cool, and that's also the first time I start to learn details.
Right.
School didn't really taught me how to do details, and I don't even know what's detail. I remember back to school, one of the professors telling us to draw the profile of a window, and he told me that's how detail works. And I was like, okay, but what about the connection with detail and walls? And like, no, he just said, no, just trace the profile. And I was like, now I learned like, oh, the profile actually, the manufacturer just give it to you, and then you do all the connection parts. But back then I don't understand. But with that internship, I really like know more about how to operate in design firm, right. And also learning how they organize their files on their server, and also know how to, like, when you have a client meeting, how you present things and how you make physical model. Because school, we just keep making it. We just like right. In our own lecture, like we make it beautiful. We think that's beautiful architecture model, but that's not how you show the client. So that was really the best time in my life so far, that living alone in Amsterdam, this beautiful city, right in again, because I can ride a bike, back then I was able to find an apartment probably, I would say, 5 minutes away from my company, like the office.
And how long did you work at the office?
Let's say 6-7 months.
Okay.
Yeah. But that feels like a long time, but it was really good. And the company is located on this artificial island called Iberg, and it's facing the water. So every day I was starting during summertime, and then every day after work, I just go straight to the water and swim, and I can swim back home.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think I've seen this. There's a current.
Yeah. So
Isn't this like a famous thing that everybody swims along this thing to go back home?
yeah, so you can do that, but I think also because I was literally the same side of that little artificial lake that Dutch people create, because they have a dam to cover the whole, divide the whole ocean to inland so they don't flood it, and we're part of that. But also I think just the experience, like you got to leave the country you grow up to this new country that people don't really treat you differently. Like I would say even in Taiwan, people will treat, if you are not from Taiwan, they will treat you completely different than the local person. But obviously Netherlands is the only country I've never felt that way. I know people who live there for a long time as a foreigner eventually will feel that if you don't learn Dutch.
Right.
But that's just like when you just move there, people will basically just treat you like anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after 6-7 months, what did you do?
So I had to go back to Taiwan to do military because it's mandatory.
Yep.
So I was getting the job offer after that. I was in London, and I was really excited about that.
Hold on.
So
How long do you have to serve in the military?
a year and then 1 month.
A year and a month. Around what year is this?
I was 13, 2013.
2013.
Yeah, or 12, I forget, like about that time.
Okay.
So I finished my school and I was able to do my internship in Netherlands, and I get another job offer in London. I was really excited also like to see my old neighbor family that I can catch up, and I realized I can't do that. In order to actually leave the country to do any other things other than study, I need to finish my duty, which is military service. So I went back to Taiwan. Luckily, I don't need to do a full military. So I did a boot camp, and then I able to use my skill to do, they call it substitution service. So you all have a kind of like special skill. So I was the front end web design for the Central Election Commission.
Okay.
So it's an office job. I would just sit in front of a computer doing graphic. And like I say, I did a lot of graphic and photography back in school. So they were like, sure, if you can do those things, that's great. I have to bring my own Photoshop license to the work because they don't have those things. Then the government wouldn't pay for that. So I actually use my own account.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I was there for a year because of that.
Is it paid?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So the amount of salary you got, I wouldn't even say that salary. So it's about 200 Canadian dollar per month.
Okay.
You're living in this dorm that's they take out the old hospital surgery room and turn to our dorm.
Like a barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're living with other people.
Yeah. So it got 4 beds in there, and then I heard that the 4th floor is the surgery room, and it was too messy, so they don't even want to confirm it. They just leave it empty. The whole year we have to go back before 10 every day or 9, and then they would do like the curfew until next day.
Right.
And then you go back to work every day.
Okay.
But because of that, I lost the opportunity to work aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you finished your year and a month. Sorry.
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me is you had this itch over time
Yeah.
to both find yourself
Yeah.
and find your way professionally.
Yeah.
You found it, and then you pulled back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And now you have to go, and now you're like, for a year, you don't get to scratch that. As much as you're working on graphic design,
Yeah.
it's not the same thing.
No, I would say like it's actually quite tragic, especially like I just told you, like I think the tiny Amsterdam is literally the best time in my life.
Yeah.
And then the dream is over. I got to go back to do military.
Yeah.
The whole year, I think was quite, especially in the boot camp, I think I was quite depressed because I don't remember that, but I remember after the boot camp, have a couple of people I met in there, and we decided to like come together and just have a drink.
Yeah.
And then one of the people just after that, the whole boot camp thing, he was like, "I didn't know you're so chatty." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You didn't talk a lot back then in boot camp." And I was like, "Really?" And then he decided to not to be friends with me anymore.
Nice.
I was like, that's fair, but I'm pretty sure back then I was probably quite stressed and depressed the whole time in the boot camp because you're not a human being. You're just...
You're a number.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it as like, you're finally, over these years, I'm going to reference measuring tape.
Yeah.
You like slowly, like you come out, you do get a lot of measurement, you have to go back.
Yeah.
And you finally like reached on a 25-foot tape.
Yeah.
You finally reached 25 feet.
And then you pull.
And then someone pressed the button and
reset.
Pull back in.
Exactly.
So okay.
Yeah.
So take us away from there.
Yeah. So
take us to the joy.
So I finished the military and I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I know I need to get a job. So I was trying to find an architecture firm that's care about sustainable. And so I joined this firm that it's not really architect. So in Asia, like in a lot of Asian country, you don't really need to have a licensed architect. You can do architecture. So I joined a firm who's focused on recycling materials, make that building material that you can use in a lot of projects.
Yeah.
So I was there for like 3-4 years. And I realized that also it's all marketing, again, because you want to sell the product. A lot of recycling things are actually what you think is from the recycling plant. They could be from a very clean factory, and they, for example, polycarbonate. They will cut polycarbonate, and then, for example, you have a 4x8 board, and they cut 3x6, and they got some left over, and they take the remaining and then rebake that as polycarbonate board, and they call that recycling. So I realized that's not really what we think. And then also because you want to be creative, you start to mixing with plastic with other things, like plastic with like rice, and just plastic with wood grains. And we know that when you mix with plastic, it means you put in that to grave. You can not longer recycling that anymore. And that's how I started to doubt, what am I doing here? But also for that job, because it's a design company that has architect, engineer, and salesperson, and also like we got about 30 to 40 people, and half of that is from Europe.
Where was this?
It was in Taipei.
In Taipei, okay.
Yeah, so I got to learn a lot of, even I don't like it, I learned a lot about industrial design.
Yep.
And also how to do sales pitch. And back then I have to go to Beijing a lot. The client is actually, you probably know, is Jackie Chan. So I got to meet him to design his office and his training stunt center.
Crazy.
And that was pretty fun, but I don't really like go to Beijing a lot.
That's fair, but you saw a smile on your face thinking of Jackie.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because it's like you thought it's like a biggest star in China, even I barely watch his movie. But like, I think one time he's making us pasta, and it was like, what? Like, seriously, Jackie Chan's making me pasta. That was an interesting memory, but I know this is not what I want to do, because I want to do sustainable, making building more environment friendly, but not just focus on the material that we try to sell to client that is actually not recycling.
Got it.
And also in Asia, the walking hour is so long. I'll be walking at 9, and if I try to go home around 6, and my project manager will text me around 7, say, where are you? The boss wants to see you walk at 8. Let's have a meeting at 8. So I go back, walking until 9 or 10, and I go home and then repeat. So I wasn't feel really happy. I just feel like kind of
shocking.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't be happy working until you go to sleep and then waking up.
Yeah.
And working until you go to sleep.
And again, I think also because the environment I grew up. So like I say earlier, we have half of staff is European, half the staff is Taiwanese. Yeah. My boss kind of just hate me for that because I act like more European style, and he's also mocking about my accent a lot. And he's a Taiwanese, and that was just really like not friendly kind of situation. But also, it bring me back to my memory that how I grew up with I don't never feel fit in, and now I'm actually like start to walk and I feel that again. So I just feel like maybe this is not the best place for me. So I decide to leave. But also I don't know where to go. So bring like back the timeline a little bit. I met my partner in Taiwan. He was teaching English.
Yeah.
So we're dating for a couple of years, and I just don't I don't really feel happy to be in this country. I want to go somewhere. And my partner is from St. John, New Brunswick.
Okay.
So I was like, let's just move to your
St.
hometown.
John.
Yeah. So that's why we pack our stuff and then just move here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a huge. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just know I don't.
I can't be here.
Yeah, I don't want to be in Taipei. Even it's a big, beautiful city. Now every time I go back, I feel quite happy to spend some time to see my friends, my old coworkers.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there. Even I really enjoy living in a big city, but I kind of just also want to change vibe because I grew up in a big city and I walk. Even all my internship or the work experience is always in the big city.
Right.
I kind of just don't want that anymore.
Yeah, you want a slower pace.
Yeah, so
less judgment.
Exactly. So I moved here, and then people say you will have a culture shock when you move to the town like St. John. Like you just so much different. I just instantly fall in love with the city. There's nothing. I think really important part to remember is that there's nothing I can't get in St. John. Maybe take a bit more. Maybe add another day. Like maybe in Ontario you can get Amazon delivery in 2 days. I got 3 days in St. John.
In Toronto, sometimes you can get same day.
Yeah. So and that's the thing.
But do you really need it same day?
Yeah.
Go to the store.
In Taipei, you got similar to Amazon. There's like online merchandise. You can buy things in 6 hours, which is crazy because you can literally wake up, order, and you come home, it's there. But do you need that? Yeah. It's very convenient. Sometimes emergency, you need that. But I also think,
please, it's just about immediate gratification. That's all.
Absolutely, yeah. So move here and I don't know what I want to do because first year was sad. I have to wait for immigration process. So I need to get my permanent resident.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. I can't even apply for the job.
Yeah.
So every day I just walk around the city, and also I have a driver's license. I don't know how to drive.
Okay.
Back then.
Yeah.
So I walk to the Rockwood Park all the time, and then I take pictures, try to stay positive, but also you don't know about immigration process because it can be very tough. And we did make tiny mistake on one. Yeah, so I think I didn't put my sister's name in there, and then they just reject me and then return the whole application. So I start from zero again. That added a couple more months for me to get through the permanent resident process. So it was not easy. Luckily, I was able to find some a friend now he opened a shop called Tour Library in town. So they are like a kind of like non-profit. So people can go there to build out their thing, borrow tools, and it's like a library. You pay a membership, you can borrow any tool, you can use power tool there as well. So I was helping him to kind of just like start this whole business.
Okay.
And then mostly just hang out. So I'm able to meet someone's kind of in the architecture industry. Even I cannot work. I just basically just go there and move a lumber for him and put things on the shelf, but just as a friend.
Now you have purpose.
Yeah, and also because I feel like I finally get back to architecture again, even it's not really architecture, but it's in a kind of same field. That's my first year, and then I finally got my open work permit, and I got my permanent resident, so I can work freely wherever I want. So I applied for a local firm. It's a boutique architecture firm, and I got accepted right away. So I was first have like a trial for a couple months before Christmas. Before Christmas comes, they just tell me like they want to keep me, so they assigned me the full-time contract. So I was there for 4 years. Also go through my licensing process. That's also another hiccup, because when you have a foreign degree, first thing you need to prove the equivalent to Canadian degree. I have to translate all my school calendar in English, and I have my school to stamp it, send physical paper to Canada, so I can prove this is
what you did.
Yeah. So it took me, so basically the first year I didn't do anything, but I also...
We're doing that.
Yeah, I was just doing translation, contact my school, and then finally got my CACB certificate, so I can apply for my architecture licensing. And then, so when I finally find a job here, I can just immediately start getting my hours. And I think also because I like told you earlier, I really like to do everything. Like I want to learn everything. So I able to learn a lot of how to do office admin, finance, contract, because I'm very good at Excel and Word because I'm a nerd. And I always want to find a solution, get the process flow better. I also like to do design. So I'm good at Photoshop because I do like photography, and I love to build models. I'm very good at AutoCAD, Revit, and because of that, I've done so many things in my whole career that I have touched almost everything, and I know every perspective. But the final goal is for me to able to do sustainable design.
Right.
After I got my license to be an architect, I was just thinking about, like, I always thinking like, if I want to do the things I love, I need to start my own firm if I want to do sustainable design. Because I still, again, like here, most architect, when you train from the school, you just know how to do really nice space, and you choose the finish, you respect the building code, you help the client to do all the good programming, and you create this masterpiece. But the sustainable is always kind of high level because it's someone else's job, engineer. But I always want to integrate those things to the process I'm doing. So I found that most of the firm I'm working on is lack of that integration, and I kind of want to be that person. So I left my job, and instead of straight jumping to like start my own firm, I found a job in my city, like St. John. So they happily opened for a 1 year position for heritage architect, which is the complete opposite way. I was trying to do sustainable and back to do conservation. But it was a very interesting job, and it was just 1 year. So I was like, well, let's apply for these and see if I get that. And I got the job right away and start working with this, which is also really good because now I'm starting on my own company. I already know so many things.
Of course.
And I know so many people from the the authority having jurisdiction. So I can kind of know how the city operates.
How to navigate.
Yeah, exactly. So a year was supposed to be covered mat leave, and the person didn't come back. So the city asked me to stay, and I just like, no, I've been prepared to start my own firm the whole year. I think this is it. Even it's a really good paid job, and like you say, working for government, they have a good pension.
Yeah.
But I just if I want to do the things I really like,
Now's the time.
now is the time.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any younger, so I've got to do that. So after that, I just started my own business. I literally don't know whether that will work out or not. But because I did so many different things in the past, from the day one, I have no problem. No problem with set up my company. I have no problem to do bookkeeping and no problem to incorporate I still hire someone to do that, but I know
How to do it.
yeah, and how to
You understand.
communicate with them.
Yeah.
So I have my own contract. I do my own branding. I do my own headshots. I know how to create a website because I used to be a front end web designer.
Yes.
So I create my own website, and then I design my own logo. I do now still these days I just to do my own bookkeeping, do my own CRA payroll. Those things are things you really have to want to learn more in order to do all of that. And I remember there is one contractor just described me as a legion. And I was like, I like that because Legion is actually my favorite X-Men person, which is a bit crazy person, but like he's many people combined. I do feel like sometimes that's the best quality of me. And also because I can do so many things, I think most of the time people won't really value me because I think most people are looking for a star something, like a star architect to do very good residential, or someone really good at Photoshop, someone really good at construction documents. But for me, I want to learn it all. I will focus a couple of things I'm really good at, but I also want to know all the spectrum. And most people don't believe a person can do that. But because of that, when I started my own company, I have no problem to
figure it all out.
Yeah, or problem solving. Because if I have problem with like finance, I know where to find the answer. I know how to who is the right person to hire to solve the problem, and I can communicate with them.
Right.
So I think that's really important, and that really achieved what I can do back then, and that's where I am.
And so how did you find your first 2 clients?
So let me think about my first client. I think was the idea. So back then, when I was working for my last job, is we create these passive house, and I've never heard about passive house, and it was really interesting to learn how to design a passive house from schematic design all the way to the construction. It really make me want to do these because I do believe that energy efficient building is one of the really key elements for sustainable building. So, but also I know architects do not really understand, like with the school training, you don't really understand how to achieve that because you need to send to your energy modeler and to like understand whether I open these windows, gonna have problems. So during the time walking the city, because the hour is much preferable because it's 8 to 4. So I spend a lot of after work hour to do passive house training. So the whole year I got my certificate and I start to do practice modeling to the passive house we designed a couple of years ago, and then how to also gain all that knowledge from the consultant that back then to know how to be an architect, also do a very energy efficient building.
Right.
And that's also the moment I decided, like, yes, I got to start my own firm. I got to do these because I want to integrate these to every project I'm designing. And when I started, I think it is this new company. They are looking for architect, and they're looking for everywhere. But every architect was relatively busy, and they really want to do sustainable design. And somehow my metadata is sustainable design in architecture. So they found me and they hired me to do their building.
Was it a new building?
Yeah.
Your first project was a new building?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that's where it got started. And it was really like, I was really just surprised because I didn't know it would work or not. I don't even know people will know me or not. And here we are. Like now people like, I would say referral is really important. People start talking about and how starting from the day one, my goal to the client is, because most people never work with architect, and if they do, like for a single family, if you're not a developer, you're probably only working with architect once in your life, because you're not having like multi-million-dollar. So my goal is always try to tell my client what's next, and we always create this graphic material to show them like, we're here, what's upcoming, what are you expecting. And I think that's really important. You can't assume people already understand these process. And I think also I learned from the hard way, because when I moved here, locally Canadian were thinking like, this is how we do, so you should already know what's coming.
Right.
And have no idea in Canada the design process is schematic, design development, construction, and the construction administration. Those are things that really straightforward for me. So when I talk to clients, I will bring back my memories when I move here. If I don't understand that, I need to explain to my client, because they never learn.
Of course.
But because I think most people have worked in the industry for so long, so they just like assume. Also, like people explain using like abbreviation, and the client just say, so what's that? What are you talking about? And I think that's really important part of my job, that now people come to me and I spend a lot of time to explain to them.
Right.
Yeah, and that's things just going pretty well now.
So how long have you been on your own?
It's almost 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And how many projects have you been able to work on now?
I think last time I checked, when the 2 year mark, I think was 41. Small, big and small.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. On your own.
Yes. So most of the projects are on my own, but I also have my old colleague, Joe Higgins.
Yeah.
We used to sit next to each other back in our last job, and now we collaborate a lot.
Beautiful.
So when we do multifamily, like the passive house project I was talking about, we are on the same team.
Yeah.
She was the senior architect, and I was back then was doing my towards to become an architect. So we're very good at working with each other. And now we have all the major capital project. We just collaborate with two firms. She's also just one architect firm and one architect. So we just put our thoughts together. We all have our the things. Yeah. So clients like that, and we do a lot of project together as well.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you've finally found something that really works, that you can sustain.
Yeah, absolutely. I also like, because I can, all my business, I can just working from home. And like I say, like I got a forest behind my house, and
that wasn't a part of the recording.
Yeah. So we moved outside of St. John now.
Yeah.
We bought a property that has 40 acres of land with 30 acre forest trail behind it.
It's incredible.
40 acres, 30 of them forest. Nilton just described something a lot of people dream about and very few actually build toward. A life where the land is part of how you work, how you decompress, and how you exist. If you're in that kind of space or planning to be, the question eventually becomes, what do you do with it? And for a lot of people in this audience, architects, designers, builders, the answer involves water. Aquanta Pools designs and builds custom pools and outdoor water features for exactly this kind of property. Not catalog builds, not cookie cutter installs. environments that respond to the landscape around them the way good architecture responds to its site. Whether the land is wooded, open, elevated, or tucked into a ravine, Aquanta thinks about the water as part of the whole outdoor experience rather than something placed on top of it. If you are working on a project that calls for a stand-out outdoor water feature like a pool, or if you're finally ready to do something serious with your own property, head to the liner notes to find out more about Aquanta Pools. They're based here in Ontario. They work all across the GTA. And you can email me directly and I'll set you up with an introduction to Yuri, the owner. My email is Jonathan, JONATHAN, at issuedforconstruction.ca. All right, back to Nilton and those 40 acres.
So a lot of time I would just, after lunch, I just go to my trail, have a walk. My goal is to bring Wi-Fi in at the portion of the forest. I can put my desk in there and just have meeting, Zoom meeting in the forest. Just client will be like,
Starlink.
We do have Starlink, but I need to use mesh system, which is I can do that. I'm a nerd, so I can do that. My partner was like, "What are you doing?"
Having fun.
Yeah,
Living my life.
yeah, but also like still too cold, so maybe this summer I do that. But I do really enjoy that I'm able to working from home.
Yeah.
Even now, I have a couple part-time staff. We just basically let everyone working from home because I really feel like with the technology we have right now, it's not necessary to be in the office. And also, without the actual office we're renting, you reduce the footprint of your operation.
Yep.
And that's something I feel like we can maintain like that, and we have no problem with communication or sharing information. Right. Yeah.
I mean, reducing your carbon footprint, having shared space.
Yeah.
Finding land, not overdeveloping it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, enjoying.
You found it.
I feel like this is one of the best decisions I make for my life so far. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nilton, I thank you for taking the time to do this with me and sharing your story and being as open about the challenges of what life is.
Yeah.
But also pursuing what you know is a direction that you need to follow while letting go of the negative side of life.
Yeah.
So that you can find your joy.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if you are in your life that currently you're in the negative side of life, I feel like there's always a way to make it better, and there is lots of opportunity. So I appreciate that you have me today. This is kind of the memory lane I didn't thought I would go through, but also good in a good way.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like therapy.
Yeah. Thank you. What's your hourly rate?